Why some people always win without trying. There are people who barely try, and yet they get the opportunities, they get the respect, they get chosen, while you work harder, think deeper, prepare more, and still get overlooked. Why? Why does it feel like the game is rigged? And more importantly, what do they know that you don't? Most people believe success is about effort. Work harder, be smarter, be better. But that belief is incomplete, because in reality, the world doesn't reward effort. It rewards perception. It rewards positioning. It rewards how others interpret you, not who you actually are. And once you understand this, you'll realize something uncomfortable. There are people who don't win because they're better. They win because they understand the game you were never taught. In this video, we'll break down the hidden patterns behind this phenomenon. Not motivation, not surface-level advice, but the psychological mechanisms that quietly decide who rises and who stays invisible. The illusion of effort. You were taught a simple rule. If you work hard, you'll succeed. It sounds fair, it sounds logical, but reality doesn't operate on fairness. Reality operates on visibility. Imagine two people. One works silently, the other speaks confidently. One doubts themselves, the other projects certainty. One prepares endlessly, the other acts early. Who do you think gets noticed? Not the most prepared, the most visible. Because human perception is shallow by default. People don't measure your depth, they measure your signal. And the louder the signal, the more competent you appear. This is called perception bias. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Confidence is often a performance. You've probably met someone like this. They don't seem exceptionally skilled. They make mistakes. They don't know everything. But somehow, they carry themselves like they do. They speak without hesitation. They move without doubt. They decide without overthinking. And people follow them. Why? Because the human brain associates certainty, competence, hesitation, weakness. Even when it's false, confidence is not always real. It's often just a performance. And the people who win without trying have mastered that performance. Not because they're fearless, but because they understand something deeper. People don't follow truth, they follow certainty. They don't seek approval. Most people operate like this. Is this okay? What do they think of me? Am I doing this right? They are constantly calibrating to avoid rejection. But high perception individuals do the opposite. They don't ask for approval. They assume it. And that assumption alone changes how others treat them. Because approval seeking signals low status, while self-validation signals high status. It's subtle, but powerful. The moment you stop asking for permission, people start treating you differently. They understand social energy. There's an invisible currency in every room. Not money, not intelligence, energy. Some people enter a room and drain it. Others enter and shift it. The ones who always win know how to speak less, but say more. Hold eye contact just a second, longer pause before responding. Control their tone. They don't rush. They don't chase. They don't over-explain, because urgency signals need, and need lowers perceived value. They move slowly, deliberately, as if time belongs to them, and that illusion alone creates power. They are not trying to impress you. This is where it gets uncomfortable, because most people are constantly trying to impress, through knowledge, through effort, through achievements. But the people who win easily don't try to impress. They position themselves as if they already belong. They don't perform for validation, they operate from assumption. And that flips the dynamic. Instead of, please accept me, it becomes, see if you can match me. And people respond to that shift instantly. They make decisions faster than you. Overthinking feels intelligent, but in social dynamics, it's often a disadvantage because speed creates authority, while hesitation creates doubt. The ones who win don't necessarily think more. They decide faster. They move before certainty. They act before perfection. And that action creates momentum. While others are still analyzing, they are already visible, already positioned, already ahead. They don't reveal everything. Most people overshare. They explain their intentions. They justify their actions. They expose their doubts. But high perception individuals is withhold. They reveal just enough. They stay slightly unpredictable because mystery creates attention, and attention creates influence. The less people can fully define you, the more they think about you. The uncomfortable truth. Here's the part most people don't want to accept. Life is not a meritocracy. It's a perception hierarchy. The people who rise fastest are not always the most capable. They are the most visible, certain, controlled, positioned. And once they reach a certain level, their perception becomes reality. People assume they are competent because they are already in power, and that assumption keeps them there. So, the question is no longer, why do they win without trying? The real question is, why are you still playing a game based on effort alone, when the real game is perception? You don't need to become fake. You don't need to manipulate, but you do need to understand how people read you, how you signal value, how you position yourself. Because once you see the game, you stop losing it unconsciously. If this made you uncomfortable, good. That means you're starting to see. Comment 1 if you've noticed this pattern in real life. And subscribe, because in the next part, we're going deeper into the exact tactics these people use without you ever realizing it. The invisible status game controlling your life. You've seen it. Two people walk into the same room, same environment, same opportunity, but somehow one person is treated like they matter more. They get listened to, they get respected, they get chosen. The other, ignored, overlooked, replaceable. And the difference isn't effort, it's something far more subtle. In part 1, we exposed a harsh truth. The world doesn't reward effort, it rewards perception. But now we go deeper, because perception itself is built on something even more primitive. Status, not money, not titles, but the invisible ranking system that your brain uses instantly, before logic, before evidence. And once you understand how status is signaled, you'll start seeing something disturbing. Some people don't climb. They are placed above you automatically. Status is assigned in seconds. When you meet someone, your brain doesn't wait. It scans posture, eye, contact, voice, timing, stillness. Within seconds, a silent decision is made, above me or below me. And once that decision is locked in, everything else follows. Their opinions carry more weight, their mistakes get forgiven, their presence feels more important. This is called thin slice judgment, and it's brutally efficient. Because humans evolved to rank quickly, not fairly, quickly. So the people who win without trying aren't winning later. They are winning in the first 3 seconds. Stillness creates power. Watch carefully. The most powerful person in a room is rarely the one moving the most. They don't fidget, they don't rush, they don't react instantly. They pause, and that pause creates gravity, because movement signals uncertainty, while stillness signals control. Think about it. The one who talks too fast feels nervous. The one who interrupts feels reactive. The one who over-explains feels defensive. But the one who pauses feels dangerous. Predictable people are safe, but controlled. People feel powerful, and humans instinctively respect that. They use silence as a weapon. Most people are afraid of silence. They rush to fill it. They explain more. They justify more. They talk just to avoid discomfort. But high-status individuals do the opposite. They let silence sit. They let you wait. They let you feel the gap. And in that gap, something happens psychologically. You start trying to earn their response, not the other way around. Silence flips control. It creates tension. And whoever is comfortable inside that tension wins the interaction. They never chase the sea. Frame. Every interaction has a hidden frame, a reality, a dominant perspective. Example: if someone treats you like you're less important and you try to prove your worth, you've already accepted their frame and you've lost. But people who always win don't fight inside your math frame. They shift it subtly, without confrontation. They don't argue, they reposition. And suddenly, the conversation revolves around them. Because whoever controls the frame controls the frame outcome. They make you seek their validation. Here's the uncomfortable part. Most people walk into interactions like this. I hope they like me. But high-status individuals flip it. Let's see if they're worth my time. They don't say it, but they project it through slower responses, selective, attention-controlled engagement. And this triggers something deep in human psychology: validation seeking. The moment you feel like someone's approval is uncertain, you want it more. And once you start wanting it, you've already lowered your position. They don't react emotionally. Emotion is natural, but visible emotional reactivity signals loss of control. And in social hierarchies, control equals power. So when someone criticizes them, they don't react. When someone challenges them, they don't escalate. They observe. They respond slowly, or not at all, because reacting instantly means you affected me. And being affected reduces perceived status. So instead they stay neutral, and that neutrality feels unshakable. They master the less is more principle. Most people believe more talking equals more influence. But reality is the opposite. The more you talk, the more you reveal. The more you reveal, the more you weaken your position. Because predictability reduces authority. So, high perception individuals speak less, choose words carefully, stop before over-explaining. And that restraint creates weight. When they speak, people listen. Not because they talk more, but because they talk less. They create subtle distance. Closeness feels comfortable, but distance creates value. Think about it. The person who is always available feels replaceable. The person who is slightly distant feels important, because scarcity increases perceived worth. So the ones who win easily don't respond instantly, don't over-engage, don't over-invest early. They create just enough distance to make you lean in. And that lean is where influence begins. They let you project onto them. This is one of the most powerful and least understood mechanisms. Most people try to show who they are, explain themselves, clarify everything. But high-level social players do less. They leave gaps, and those gaps allow others to project confidence, intelligence, authority onto them. Because the human brain hates uncertainty, so it fills in the blanks, often in their favor. The status loop. Here's the system most people never see. They signal high status. People treat them as high status. That treatment reinforces their position. Others assume they deserve it, and the loop continues. This is why it feels like they always win, because once perception locks in, it becomes self-sustaining. You're not competing with their effort, you're competing with their established identity. And that's a much harder battle. The shift in awareness. So, now you're starting to see it. The pauses, the silence, the distance, the control. None of it is accidental. And the people who seem effortless are often the ones who understand this system intuitively. But here's the important part. You don't need to fake it. You don't need to become manipulative, but you do need to stop playing blindly. Because once you understand how status is signaled, how perception is formed, how control is maintained, you stop being unconsciously placed below others. If you've ever felt like someone had power over you without doing anything obvious, now you know. Why? Comment 1 if you've experienced this. And in part 3, we're going deeper into something even darker. The silent manipulation patterns these people use without you noticing. Part 3. The silent manipulation you never notice. You think they're just confident, calm, composed, naturally, respected. But what if none of that is accidental? What if some people don't just understand the game? They quietly control it without you ever realizing. By now, you've seen the surface. Perception, status, positioning. But underneath all of it, there's something deeper, something more uncomfortable. Because the people who always win don't just signal status. They shape your perception before you even think for yourself. Not through force, not through obvious manipulation, but through subtle psychological pressure, invisible moves that feel natural. And that's why they work. They control what you notice. Your brain doesn't process everything. It filters constantly. So whoever controls your attention controls your reality. And high-level social players understand this. They don't overwhelm you. They highlight selectively. They emphasize their strengths, their calm, their certainty, while quietly hiding hesitation, confusion, mistakes. And because your brain fills gaps, you assume they're more complete than they are. They don't need to lie. They just need to direct your focus. They use contrast to elevate themselves. Power is rarely built alone. It's built through comparison. So instead of saying, "I'm impressive," they create situations where others appear weaker, subtly. They let someone else overtalk. They stay calm while others react. They let others look emotional while they remain composed. In that contrast, they rise, without claiming anything, because humans don't judge in isolation, they judge in comparison. So whoever controls contrast controls perception. They make you explain yourself. Watch this carefully. You're talking to someone, and suddenly you feel the need to justify what you said. explain more, clarify, defend. They didn't attack you. They didn't interrupt. They just looked at you, paused, stayed silent. And that silence triggered something inside you. Now you're talking more than you planned, revealing more than you intended, lowering your position without realizing it. This is subtle pressure, and it's incredibly effective because it doesn't force you. It lets you expose yourself. They create micro-doubt. They don't destroy your confidence. That would be obvious. Instead, they introduce tiny fractures, small uncertainties, almost invisible, a delayed response, a neutral expression, a slight shift in tone. Nothing aggressive, nothing clear, but enough to make you question yourself. And once self-doubt enters, your behavior changes. You become more cautious. You seek approval. You lose fluidity. And in that moment, they don't need to dominate you. You've already lowered yourself. They reward you just enough. Total rejection pushes people away, but inconsistent validation pulls them in. So they don't ignore you completely. They give you small, approval, occasional, attention, brief engagement, just enough to keep you invested. And this creates a psychological loop. You start chasing that approval, trying to earn it again, and again. Without realizing, you're no longer interacting as an equal. You're seeking. And whoever seeks loses position. They never compete directly. Most people try to win visibly. They argue, they prove, they confront. But high-level players avoid direct conflict because direct conflict creates resistance. Instead, they redirect. They change the topic shift, attention reposition subtly. And by the time you realize, the dynamic has already changed. They didn't beat you. They moved the game. They make you feel almost enough. This is one of the most dangerous patterns because it feels positive. You feel close, recognized, almost accepted, but not fully. And that almost keeps you engaged, trying harder, adjusting more, investing deeper, because your brain thinks, I'm close. I just need a little more. But that little more never arrives. And that's the trap. They don't need you to lose. Here's the twist. They don't need to defeat you. They don't need to dominate you. They just need to stay slightly above, remain slightly more controlled, appear slightly more certain. Because in social dynamics, small differences create big effects. If they are 10% more composed than you, they feel 100% more powerful. And that perception gap is enough. They let you think it's natural. This is why it's so hard to detect. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels manipulative. It feels like they're just better. They're just more confident. They're just naturally like that. But that belief is what keeps the system invisible. Because once you label it as natural, you stop questioning it. And once you stop questioning, you stop resisting the realization. Now look back at people in your life, the ones who always seemed to have control, the ones who made you feel slightly off, slightly unsure, slightly beneath them. They didn't overpower you. They didn't argue. They didn't force anything. They just controlled, attention, introduced, doubt managed, distance stayed, composed, and slowly the dynamic shifted. Without you noticing, until one day you realized they were above you, and you don't even know when it happened. Breaking the pattern. Here's the truth most people never reach. You don't lose because you're weak. you lose because you're unaware. Unaware of how perception is shaped, how attention is controlled, how subtle pressure works. But once you see it, everything changes. You start noticing the pauses, the silence, the tension, the patterns, and awareness alone breaks half the control. Because manipulation only works when it's invisible. If you've ever felt like someone had influence over you without doing anything obvious, this is why. Comment 1 if you've experienced this. And in the final part, we're flipping everything. How to reposition yourself without becoming fake or manipulative. Part 4. How to reposition yourself without becoming fake. Now you see it. The patterns, the silence, the subtle control. And maybe you're starting to feel something uncomfortable. If this is the game, does that mean I have to become like them? Cold, calculated, manipulative? No. Because the goal is not to fake power. The goal is to stop giving yours away unconsciously. Most people think the solution is act more confident, talk more, push harder, but that only creates noise. Real positioning comes from removing the behaviors that lower your status, not adding fake ones. Because power is not built by performance, it's built by control, restraint, awareness. So instead of becoming someone else, you're going to start subtracting weakness signals. Stop explaining more than necessary. This alone will change how people see you. Right now, you probably explain too much. You clarify, you justify, you fill gaps because you want to be understood. But every extra sentence reduces perceived authority. Why? Because authority assumes. Insecurity explains. So from now on, say what's needed, then stop. Let silence hold the weight. If they don't understand immediately, that's not always your problem. And that shift alone changes your position. Slow down your responses. Speed feels efficient, but socially, speed often signals pressure. You reply instantly. You react quickly. You jump into conversations. It feels active, but it lowers your presence because it looks like you're chasing the moment. Instead, pause. Even just 1 second before speaking, before responding, before reacting. That pause creates control, and control creates perceived power. Hold eye contact slightly longer, not aggressively, not intensely, just slightly longer than comfortable. Most people break eye contact too early because they feel exposed. But holding it just a fraction longer signals, I'm not intimidated, I'm not rushing, I'm here. And that subtle shift repositions you instantly, without saying a word. Remove unnecessary reactions. This is one of the biggest leaks. You react to everything, comments, jokes, opinions, and every reaction gives away control. Because reaction means they affected me. So start noticing what actually requires a response and what doesn't. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not everything deserves your energy. And the less you react, the more stable you appear. Stop seeking micro-validation. Watch your behavior closely. Do you look for approval after speaking? Wait for reactions to feel confident. Adjust based on others' expressions. That's micro-validation, and it lowers your position constantly because it signals my value depends on your response. Instead, deliver your words. Stay neutral. Move on. Whether they agree or not, you remain the same. And that consistency builds presence. Control your body before your words. People think influence comes from what you say, but it starts with how you move. Your body speaks first before your words. So pay attention to fidgeting, shifting too much nervous, gestures, restless movement. Stillness is power, not stiffness, but controlled movement. When your body is calm, your presence expands, even before you speak. Create small distance. You don't need to be cold. But you shouldn't be overly available. If you respond instantly all the time, agree too quickly, engage too eagerly, you become predictable, and predictability reduces value. So introduce small distance, delay responses slightly, don't over-engage, early let conversations, breathe. This doesn't push people away, it pulls them in. Don't try to win every interaction. This is critical because ego will trap you. You'll want to prove your point correct, others show you're right. But constant winning actually lowers your position because it makes you reactive. Instead, let small things go. Choose where to engage, and when you do speak, make it matter. Power is not in winning everything. It's in choosing what's worth winning. Build an identity, not a performance. This is where everything connects. If you try to act high status, it will feel forced, inconsistent, unnatural. But if you build an internal identity, I don't rush, I don't over-explain, I don't seek approval, then your behavior aligns automatically. And people feel that consistency, not as a performance, but as presence. The real shift. Here's the truth. The people who win without trying are not always trying less. They are leaking less. Less unnecessary words, unnecessary reactions, unnecessary validation seeking. They conserve energy, and that conservation creates impact. Because power is not about doing more, it's about doing less, but with control. So now you understand the full picture. Part 1, perception. Part 2, status. Part 3, manipulation. Part 4, control. And the final realization is this. You don't need to overpower people. You don't need to dominate. You don't need to manipulate. You just need to stop lowering yourself unconsciously. Because once you remove the leaks, your presence naturally rises. And when that happens, it won't look like you're trying, but everything will start changing. If this series changed how you see people, comment 1. And more importantly, watch how people treat you this week. Because once you see the game, you never play it the same again.